Well, heidi ho, neighbor. Well, Tim, neighbors are a fact of life. In fact, we've all had them, and we will have several more. How have they affected your life? Got any good stories about it? Tell me all about it. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Video Call-In Show, that show that invites you to be a live guest on this program to talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Every Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course, Friday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am your host, Jim, and I will be here for about the next hour. My job? To listen and learn to and about you. Welcome, guys. If that sounds like content that trips your trigger, hit that subscribe button right now and that bell. I want to see you back. I want to see you on the show. Do it right now. Let's get into this. So tonight, in fact, let me go over something really fast here. Tonight, I thought that this was fantastic subject matter, and it was suggested by one of our friends. Let's see here. I will pull that up very shortly. Pardon me for being so for being so late to that party. But tonight's subject was suggested and brought to you by, as soon as that channel comes up, Wendell Live. That is Wendell Live. He does music videos that will make you smile. If you guys haven't checked him out, do so now. That is Wendell Live with an exclamation point. Thank you so much, Wendell, for the suggestion on tonight's subject. Tonight's subject, having said that, is neighbors. Have you had good neighbors? Have you had okay neighbors? Have you had weird neighbors? Well, I want to hear about it. It's real easy. All you've got to do is go to zoom.us, click on join a meeting, and then enter that meeting number when it calls for it. You will show up in my green room, and I will take you first come, first serve. We can talk about anything. We don't have to talk about neighbors. We can talk about just about anything you'd like to talk about. And let's say hello to the chat. We've got Northern Ohio Railroad action. How you doing, Roar? Nora, good to see you. Not a great gamer. Always good to see you, buddy. My in Thailand, over from Pusha Studios. Thanks for being here, buddy. We've got Susan Hamilton. Hello, Susan. Always a pleasure to see you. Mike from the Creator Spotlight Show. How you doing, Mike? Welcome to the show. There's Adam. Crap my dad makes me watch. One of the best names on YouTube. We've got Recycle Dude. How you doing, man? Good to see you. There's Wendell Live, the man of the hour who's suggested weird neighbor stories. And we've also got Emmanuel Goffey. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome back to the show. Tony from Viewed This. Always good to see you, buddy. And we've got Heritage Farms. Whoops, whoa, that went fast. Heritage Farms, Texas. Welcome to the show. Jesse Mendez. Always good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. Mr. Lodak. Welcome. Jelly Duck 100, who won the wheel on Push Studios today. Congrats on that. And welcome to the show. Lab 15, good to see you. Hey, Lab 15, I've got a quick question for you. Is that the Eminence Lab 15 that you're referring to? Being a speaker builder, I am definitely into that sort of thing. I own a few more. I actually have 4 Lab 12s, which are 12-inch woofers, that I have yet to place in any speaker enclosure just yet, but I'm going to. Hazelite Siren, hey, oh to you, my friend. Nature's Beauty, hi. Good to see you. Dawson Strickland, welcome back to the show, my friend. An early adopter, one of my first subscribers. Great to see you. Oh, it's your initials. Okay. Well, I tried, right? Did you know? Here's another question for you. Did you know that it was also a woofer built by Eminence, and that they pound in the right enclosures? And I mean, they are very, very good woofers. They can handle the pressure of a fully horn-loaded cabinet, and that's rare. So anyway, back to the subject matter. We're talking about neighbors. Now, I've had my share of, I'll just say strange neighbors, right? And a couple of them, here's one to grease the wheels. A couple of them stand out. One in the house that we owned previous to this one, and one in this house, and it was so similar that I shudder. These are images that I have to take to the grave. But at any rate, we had an old German couple that lived next door to us in the house we lived in prior to this one, and they like to walk around in their house in underwear. Well, you can only take so much torpedo bras and granny panties before you start keeping those blinds closed. It happens. It happens. People, if you're going to walk around your house, have fun, naked or in your underwear, have fun. But draw the blinds when there's other people involved, will you please? Unless that's your thing. And I'm not here to step on anybody's good time, but it wasn't for me. Like I said, I am scarred for life, but I will get over it. Now, having said that, a great segue would be the neighbors that we had next door prior to or when we just moved in. This house next door has had about 3 owners since we've been here, maybe 4. The first ones, nice people, fantastic people. In fact, the old German couple, they were great folks. But these neighbors who owned the house, when we moved in, they I'll bring up my first guest as soon as I ruin your dinners with this story. They had a hot tub in their sunroom, 3-season room. No problem, right? Hell, we've got a hot tub out back. Use it all the time. Well, they like to jump in their hot tub with their underwear on. And I tell you, I've had my fill of torpedo bras and granny panties. I'm going to leave my wife if she ever adopts them. I'm just going to say that. Oh, yeah. But sometimes you walk out with the dogs and, you hear some noises and you look over and you're faced with that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And those are things you can't unsee. All right. Well, enough of that fun. Let's bring in our first guest. And guys, you can stack right up. Don't be shy. It never hurts to stack up. If we get toward the end of the show, I may have to jump out. Remember, we're here for about an hour. Let's see.
Can't wait.
Yeah, well, I figured you might have a story.
Yeah, they're not that good, but they're stories.
I have yet to run into a bad story. Wisco style, how you doing? Okay, so Wendell, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good. I had a good day. I was traveling, got back, was catching up, and I mentioned last night I was trying to figure out a song, so I think I got the song, but I can't tell you yet because I gotta process the audio, make sure it's okay. So
Okay, well, good. Good.
but I did that today and went to the grocery store so I could have some milk and all that other good stuff.
You didn't run into the same neighbors I did you?
No, but so look, yes, I did suggest this, and one of the reasons I suggested this is to try to help everybody because your neighbors are supposed to be weird. So if you got a weird neighbor, don't complain about it. Say, oh, my neighbors are supposed to be weird, so that's okay. So the first one, and now hopefully I don't offend anybody, but everybody's different. So my first one was an older gentleman. At the time, I was much younger. He was probably my age now, but he was into the whirly gigs. And it was a townhouse. So you had just this tiny little lawn, but every square inch of that had a whirly gig on it of different things, And so you come home every night and it's, oh, jeez, his name was Chester. It was all right. So that's the first guy. Okay. Then the second one, the guy has room in his driveway for 2 cars. He has 6.
Oh, right. Man.
So a couple things about this guy. And then on the side of his house, he has a 1980, because he's on a corner. So he has a 1980 Honda Civic. Okay, it is a nothing car. It's not like a collector car. It's not like a souped up car. It's just a rust bucket.
So what, did
And
he
it
have it
had,
over there under like a cover or something in hopes
oh,
of restoring the thing or what?
no, it sort of just sits there. It's still there right now, as a matter of fact. It has not moved since the day he moved in about 6 years ago. It just sits
Wow.
there, doesn't go anywhere. So, so look, people were afraid to talk to him about all this. So one of the neighbors named his Wi-Fi, Steve, we hate all your cars. So, so when you go to check your Wi-Fi, Steve, okay. All right. So the last one, so I can give somebody else, was a gentleman across the street. It was his son, is probably in his early 20s, and yeah, he had this habit of standing in front of the window upstairs naked.
Oh man.
Okay, so this went on for a while, and he'd only do it when the neighbor lady would come out. So and he wasn't just like standing there. If you get okay, he was
I think
busy.
I think I know exactly what you mean.
So he's busy there. Okay. So first time she thought, okay, he's no big deal. Yeah, just go inside, ignore it. Happened a second time, call the police. Police come. He goes, hey, it's my house. I can do whatever I want. Well, not really.
No,
So
no.
to make a very long story short, the naked man went to court. I'm not sure what the judgment was, but about 4 weeks after that, the family moved. so, so I think his parents got a little embarrassed and moved out of town.
Yeah, yeah.
But Jim, remember the first thing I said? Your neighbors are supposed to be weird. And so when you see them do crazy things, it's just like, yeah, there they go again. Oh, and the
Well,
last thing, if you go to the neighborhood party and no one talks about the crazy neighbor, it's you.
yeah.
So
One of my biggest fears, Wendell. Oh, you
so,
don't want to be that person.
that's right. You don't want to be that person.
That's
So
awesome, dude.
those real quickly, three of my crazy neighbors, and they're fun to talk about, but
Not when it's happening though, right? It's that's like anything else. It's always fun after the dust settles, but not while it's happening.
while it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Please don't let it happen while you're trying to sell your house. The guy with the whirly gigs, could you like put him away just for the day? I got somebody coming to look at the house.
Oh
Oh,
man.
I forgot one other thing. The guy with the car, I have this tree that loses branches every once in a while. Now, in our neighborhood, you're allowed to gather up the branches, put them on the curb, and the recycle comes and takes them.
Mhm.
No, he gathers up branches from my tree and puts them in a pile in my yard. I have no idea why he does that.
Really?
So I just pick them up and I put them out in the yard. So
Huh.
I just
Sounds like he's not aware, right? And he thinks you're just trying to dump him on the the public property or something.
it's like, hey, these are your branches, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to take care of them.
Keep him off the street, dude.
That's all right. That's it.
Well, those are some great stories, man. I
All
hope I
right.
never run into that one dude in the winter.
Just wonder, what are you thinking? You know,
Oh, you know what he was thinking, but God, why? I don't know, man. People are strange. That's why neighbor stories are so prevalent, is because there are so many different types of people, and every
well,
time you move somewhere, it's the luck of the draw.
this is true.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
you're
I had one neighbor who would go into the basement and work in the basement every time his mother-in-law came over. Says, I can't talk to her. I just refuse to talk to her. She comes over. I go in the basement. I've got a project I'm working on.
well. It's funny you said that about the car too, because or whatnot. Because here I am with a big giant red travel trailer out in my driveway. Nobody's talking to me about it. And
Just watch for the Wi-Fi that says, "Jim, we don't like your red trailer."
in my defense, though, I'm working on it, so I can take it to its resting spot in between trips. So deal with it, folks.
The good news is we have no one in the neighborhood who has been who has been rebuilding a motorcycle for the last 20 years. So that's good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ooh, you know what? And I hate to keep here, but another
That's all
time
right.
that I was a bad neighbor, and really wasn't all that bad, but is when we rebuilt the tractor in my garage. Now this is a neighborhood that is not agricultural, right?
There's a guy with a tractor down there. What the hell is he doing with the tractor in this neighborhood?
Oh yeah. Well, I had to drive it around to test it out. And where I thought I would get dirty looks, people would literally come out of their house and wave. They loved that thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for you.
That's so maybe it wasn't all that bad, but it was like, oh, what are they going to think of us pulling out a full-size tractor in this neighborhood? But you do what you do. That's one of the reasons we want to move is because I need more land and less house.
I do have one last thing I just want to mention, and
Sure.
that is you've got to find the neighbor who knows what's going on. And we've got one of those. All you got to do is, hey, what's happening over there? He knows, man. It's like he's got it down.
Yeah.
It's everything that's going on in the neighborhood.
That
I'll be gone and I'll say, hey, what happened? Oh, well, this is what happened. This here, this. Oh, you should have been here. So.
Well, that's exactly a perfect segue for this as well. I know that guy. I went to. You won't believe this. You guys watching the show won't believe this. I know the guy. I went to school. I graduated with him same year in the same school. We moved in the same weekend, and we were co-president of the HOA for a few years when we first moved in. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
There you go.
He's still president of the HOA. I bowed out. It was too political, and not enough things were happening. It was like kind of a figurehead position. He didn't do anything. So I said, well, you can have it if you want. He said, all right.
and I'm sure you got tired of the phone calls of, hey, could you tell people to start picking up after their dogs?
That's exactly the phone calls he gets. He just told me that. I said,
how come I knew that?
Yeah, I know, right? Because I just talked to him before our last trip, and I said, I'm just working on it. It'll go to its resting place, and we'll be around. So just because I did something for him, he needed a piece of metal cut, and he didn't have any real tools. And I said, yeah, just well, what can I do for you? And I said, just keep the neighbors off my back. And he says, all I get calls are, from people who want their dogs not to go in their yard, even when they clean it up. People are complaining. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
All right. Well, I'll let somebody else come on. But Jim, great talking with you, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, same here, Wendell. Thanks for suggesting it, and appreciate your stories, my friend.
You're welcome, man.
Take care. Yeah, I wasn't kidding about that. We literally moved in the same week, and he was he wasn't, we actually didn't hang out, honestly. Let's see. Hang on there a minute, Jesse. But we knew each other, and we've become really good friends since. I keep waiting for him to come up on the show. Oh, let me see. How you doing, Jess?
Hang on, I'm trying to get my wait a minute.
It all looks good here, man. And sounds good. So
I'm getting an echo here. Hang on, got it.
Oh yeah, just mute the YouTube video.
I know.
A-okay.
I kept doing everything else but that.
What's up, my friend?
Well, this neighbor story really intrigued me because when we bought this house, so 100 years ago, we moved into it, and we were painting and repairing and doing stuff, right? And next door is a duplex, and there was a lady that lived there with her 4 kids. And her terms of endearment for her children were things like, hey, MFer, hey, you little bass, and just, real kind words to these kids. Constantly screaming, yelling, talking to them like that. So when we first moved in, like I said, we're painting, and a ball comes over and over the fence. Kid comes to the door, knocks. Can I get my ball that went over the fence? Sure, no problem. Went back there, gave this ball, went back to work, climbing up the ladder, painting. Knock, knock, knock again. My ball went over. I stopped. Now, a couple times, I'm cool. So at that point, I go, let me see what's going on here. So I went to the back door, just kind of being sneaky. And the older son was taking the ball away from the young boy and throwing it over the fence. And I told the little boy, this is the last time. Next time that ball comes over, I'm keeping it. I'm going to be the grumpy old man that keeps the boy's ball, I'm going to be that guy.
Of course.
I'm busy. Every time they knock at the door, I got to come down off the ladder, go answer the door, take the time, and I'm trying to get moved in. I'm trying to do things. So sure as crap, I get up the ladder, and I hear. Well, no, I'm sneaking, listening, right? And the older brother throws the ball over. He said, "Now go get it." So the little boy again comes to the door. I said, "No, not getting the ball back. I'm busy. I ain't got time for you and your brother playing games." Wah. He's probably about 4 or 5. I hate to be mean, but I'm busy. I ain't got time for their little games. I just moved into the neighborhood. My first, we're not even moved in yet. Mom comes over. You can't talk to my motherfucking kids like that. Who the fuck do you think you are? I said, first of all, you don't have to shout. I'm not shouting at you. I'm not yelling. I'm talking, Well, you have to give me that ball back. No, I don't. No, I don't. That's my ball. And as a matter of fact, it's not even my ball. It's my dog's ball. He's back there playing with it. So, she was nasty. She would say things like, "Come here, you little MF, so I can kick your damn ass," and just
talking to her own kids.
Oh yeah, to her own kids.
Wow.
That's the way she talked to them all the time. All the time. It was terrible. It was terrible. But I suppose I could call the cops. What are they going to do?
Oh, right. Right.
I suppose I could call CSP, but what are they going to do? Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wasn't physically abusing them. She was just calling them lots of nasty names.
Yeah.
Constantly. She called the cops on me.
For the ball?
For the ball. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cops got there. I explained the situation. And cop looked at her. He says, he's within his rights.
Yeah.
He's within his rights. The one cop looked at me and goes, you would do yourself a favor if you gave the ball back. I said, no, I wouldn't. It would just continue. They're not getting the ball. Besides, my dog back there playing with it. You go take it away from no, I didn't want to say that, but I told him, you go take it away from my dog. He's playing with it. His big old lab at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how bad this family was. The whole family, even the kid, the oldest kid, he was probably 12, 13 years old, would mutilate dead animals.
Oh.
Right? His sister, which is the middle child,
mm-hmm.
and on the street that we live on, you really need to be careful because we got, idiot drivers everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were warned, hey, you guys need to be careful crossing that street. Well, sure as crap, the daughter ran out in front of a car, got her leg broke, broke her hip. It was sad. And of course, mom is blaming the driver.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for her, there was witnesses that said no. She ran out in front of him. Her brother, she's in a cast, in a wheelchair. He's pushing her down the street, taking her for a walk. And I watched this dude do this. Pulled her out of the chair and ran back to the house. She was probably about half a block down, laughing, and then just left the chair and went in the house. Mom comes out screaming, "You little motherfucker, I'm kicking my butt." Right? Went down, picked up the daughter, come back. I don't think she ever really did any as far as discipline the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she ever really did. I just yelled nasty stuff to them all the time, but never really did anything.
Yeah.
Within about a month or so after we moved in, they left. I don't know what happened to them.
Oh, lucky.
That was probably the weirdest neighbors I've ever had. I mean,
Mm.
I got strange neighbors, but that was weird.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Where do these people come from is what I want to know.
I don't know. And they were probably I'll say she was probably in her mid-20s. You know, weird.
Yeah. It's funny. I had one just like that, Jesse. It was on the other side of that German couple I was talking about at the head of the show. The same thing. Only what they would do is they would buy. She had a couple young kids. They would get puppies. I don't know where. I say buy. I don't know if that was the case.
They would acquire them.
They would acquire puppies, and I watched 3 of them die, getting hit by cars because they didn't know how to take care of them.
Right.
And one was so bad that I literally went out there to try to save it. And I'm not going to describe how mangled it was, but it was still barely hanging on. I ended up putting it out of its misery. It was so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where these people come from and how they even get that way.
Yeah, I know. Well, they have parents like themselves. Is what probably happens.
I imagine. Yeah. I imagine. Well, I don't know. My kids aren't like me. I mean,
no, but they're better. They're better because of you.
Well, I wouldn't even go that far.
No.
No, they're their own people. I understand what you're saying about kids grow up like how their parents teach them.
Sure.
I taught my kids right from wrong. Doesn't mean that they always do that.
No, but they're not going to be like that.
We're all right. We're all individuals, and we all make our own choices. Yep. So sometimes I'll blame the parent, or I'll assume it's the parent's fault because of the way a child's acting.
Yeah.
But when they come to being adults, that's a choice they're making on their own. So.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I agree with you to a point. But there's a point where they are individuals making their own individual choices.
Oh yeah.
Way.
Yeah. And environment plays a big role in it as well.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I get that too.
I mean, because people can say, lots of people have looked at me and go, "That's not a very good parent." Yeah, Bob, they're cute. I'm not. I never claimed to be cute. I never claimed to be a movie star or anything like that.
Not recently.
Not ever. I never had to. The chicks flocked around me. I didn't have to brag about it.
It was all that high karate.
Right, yeah. English leather.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, so that's my weird neighbors. I have other weird neighbors around me now, but nothing worth talking about.
Yeah.
Weird, just strange stuff. But these people she was, I don't know what her problem was. I don't know if she was a crackhead or what,
Yeah.
It's
that
really
would be
my guess.
Yeah. It's just fascinating. I can't put my finger on it because you just kind of run into those people. You never see them. Well, that's not true, but you see them more when they're your neighbors because you see them often and you see all the things they're doing. Chances are we're running into that sort of people everywhere. We just don't know it. Yeah.
Right. You're not interacting with them normally.
Yeah, exactly.
When they become your neighbor, all of a sudden you have almost no choice but to interact with them,
Right.
Or totally ignore it.
Yeah.
But it's hard when they won't let you. So.
It's true. That is so true.
If they won't leave you alone, then you have to deal with them.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
And
I've got a neighbor on the other side. He's been here, longer than I have. Really nice guy, great old man.
mhm.
He's gonna burn his house down one day, but you know,
Smoking in the recliner, is that what he's doing? Or
and then he can't hear nothing.
oh,
So but he's a nice old guy. We do, he does stuff for me. I do things for him.
mhm.
He's always, Jesse, how do you install a hot water heater? Why? I think I need to get mine replaced. You know how to do it? And he knows I know how to do it because I had to do my own. He knew that. So,
Sure. I get that all the time, as a matter of fact.
yeah. But I say, yeah, I can do that for you. It's going to cost you, you got to buy the hot water heater. And I go, price myself out of a job. I go $500.
Did it work?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Price yourself right out.
I think I can get my son-in-law to come over and do it for me. I said, cool. I'll cut his grass for him. See, our front yards, I'll cut his front yard when I cut mine.
Yeah.
That way both front yards look exactly the same. It looks nicer than his cut and my cut are different,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So I'll cut his front yard when I cut mine.
That's cool. That's cool.
But other than that, hey, can you put windows in? After you see me put windows, yeah, I can put your windows in. $300 well, maybe I'll give my son-in-law.
Suddenly they know somebody.
Yeah, right. But I definitely will do it for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For that price?
Sure. Especially if they're just inserts,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, man. Sad,
So
but
that's
cool
my-
stories, dude.
All right. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, thanks for sharing, Jesse. I appreciate it,
All
man.
right, man. I'll let somebody else come in and tell their weird story.
All right. We'll talk at you
All right.
later.
Yep. Bye.
Oh, man. Where do they come from? That's what I want to know. It's like, good Lord. And by the way, I want to say hello to Bob Dip. Welcome to the show. Have I missed anyone else? JNC No Limit TV. Welcome to the show, my friend. Have I missed anyone? Recycle Dude. I saw you up there, dude. You should come up and share some stuff here. Let me look for my next guest's name so I don't have to do all this typing. As you well know, I am not a great typer. Oh, Chambor's Garage. There's my son. How you doing, bud? No one is a fan of HOAs except those people who think it's a political tool. All right. Looks like I'm just going to have to do some fancy typing here. All right. Hang on just a minute. Oh.
Are you hearing yourself?
I am now. Yes. You'll have to mute the YouTube video, my friend.
I have it. I hear myself in my Kindle speakers and in my.
Sounds like you've got the
You know what?
YouTube video still rolling.
Yeah, I
Ah.
wasn't thinking.
There we go. That's much
See,
better.
I had my phone so close to my Kindle
Uh-huh.
that it sounded like your audio. It sounded like it was going from you back through my Kindle,
Sure.
except but it was coming through my earbud and through my Kindle at the same time. So it sounded like I was like, "What in the world is going on?"
That will mess with your head. That will
I know. I
absolutely
was
mess
just
with
like,
your head.
this can't be me. I don't know what. I'm just like, this is not going in. Why is the earbud? The earbuds got to be in. 'Cause I'm hearing it here, but I'm hearing it here. Why? Jim, what are you doing?
Wasn't me, man. Wasn't me.
When in doubt, just blame Jim.
Exactly. Hey, I got big shoulders. I can take it. So
Oh, man.
you haven't been around long enough to have a whole bunch of neighbor stories, but I'm sure you've got some, unless you'd like to talk about something else. But before you do, let me say hello to Awesome Epic Adventures. Welcome to the show. And Story of Dory, welcome. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. All right. Oh, and Luke Duke. How you doing, Luke? Okay. So what
Wait,
brings you to the show?
We have the Dukes of Hazzard cast in chat. Wait, what?
We do.
What?
Just waiting for
Hello?
Boss Hog.
Send me a general lead, please. I need one of those.
Yeah. You and about everyone else wants one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a neighbor story. I have one neighbor who's just like, I don't know, out of the 70s, but yeah.
Hey,
I don't
hey,
think the
watch it.
stories are.
I'm from the 70s.
Well, they no, it's like they're stuck in the 70s. Is what I mean.
Hey, watch it. I'm stuck in the 70s. You can't win here.
No, well, actually, I better watch it because if you were to meet this person,
I'm kidding, of course.
Oh yeah, if you were to meet this person and oh my gosh, it would offend you if you say you're stuck in the 70s because oh my gosh. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna tell the story that I have of this person because I don't even think it's I don't know. It's not. I'm not even gonna.
Well,
tell
there are levels of stuck in the 70s.
Yeah.
At some point, it crosses the line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 70s or not. Let's just say that.
Well, now I'm curious. I got to know. I'll tell you if it's 70s or not.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if let's just say that my neighbor tends to go outside. She tends to go outside wearing way less clothes than she should be. And oh my gosh, it's just like all the.
And you think that's a 70s thing?
Well, not necessarily. You just have to see it because it's. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not just that. It's just what it is she wears. I don't know. She's the weirdest person I've ever met in my life. You see, she's turning her crawl space into a basement. So
What?
me and my friends go there. We get paid $5 an hour to go dig in her crawl space.
Wow.
So, and just talking to her, she is a weird person. Really weird person. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe her. Like I said, like if you met her, it's like it's definitely not. She's definitely not in 2019. She doesn't. I don't think she knows what year it is. Because
what do you think her goal is for parading around half naked in the around her house? Because you didn't say whether it's in front of your backyard. Is she like trying to get a tan or draw attention, or is she?
Well, she definitely has got attention.
She's just forgetful. It's like, oh damn it, I forgot to put my pants on again. Because we've all had that. Am I right?
I hate that feeling. Like I can't talk. I was on the phone with my friend the other day, and I was walking to his house. I was like, man, I just have this horrible feeling right now. It's like, what do you mean? It's like I feel like I just left something really important. I was like, that feeling whenever you kind of think you forgot your pants or something like that, but you look down, you got pants on.
Oh yeah.
Like I have that feeling right now. I was like, I don't know what I forgot. I was like, there's obviously something important.
I feel like that all the time. 24/7.
I had that. Oh yeah, Jim, he's just that guy that always feels like he has no pants on, That's just Jim for you. No, the thing is, I had that feeling one time. I was live streaming, okay? And I just suddenly had that feeling of like, I forgot to put my pants on, but I had pants on. I hated that so much. It was just like, because, you get that feeling. It's like you're on live, but you think, for some reason, you have that thought that you forgot to put your pants on.
Sure.
And I was just like, oh, crap. And I was like, wait, no, I have my pants on, so we don't have to worry about nothing. What did I forget? I have my shirt on. I have my pants on. Okay, I think we're good.
Well, why do you think that I'm only a bus shop most of the time? If I forget my pants, nobody knows unless I say something. This show is by design a bust shot.
Okay, Jim, thank you.
You guys, I didn't say anything.
You just put an image, and everybody in the chat now has an image of worried about what's going on right now in that room.
Oh, nothing's going on. You can see my hands. I just you'll never know unless I tell you. I like to keep that as my little secret.
I don't know if you watched the show or not. I don't know. Okay, did you ever watch Full House?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the newer version, Fuller House?
Yeah, I like Fuller House because they're more my age now.
Yeah. So the person who whatever her name is, I don't know what her name is now.
Which part does she play?
Or something like that. Whoever acts out is Kimmy.
Oh, I don't know her real name, but I know the character Kimmy. She was the strange little friend of theirs.
Oh, she's still the strange little friend.
Oh, she is? See, I haven't seen the new one all the way through yet.
Oh yeah, she is. She is still. She has a cheesecake purse. So you haven't seen anything from it now?
Oh, what's that? Say that again.
At all? Have you not seen anything from the show yet?
No,
Anyway,
well, I've seen the trailer because it was up on Netflix for the longest time, and
yeah.
I think I ended up seeing part of a show, and I don't know, I had other things to do, but I haven't
Yeah.
made it a point to actually watch the show.
Yeah. Oh, they're about to release the last season here this fall,
Oh,
season
they are,
5.
and
Yeah.
they're gonna kill the show entirely.
As far as I know, yeah.
Do you know who Lori Loughlin is? She plays a character on there.
Yeah. Aunt Becky, right?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't
Is
tell you
that
her
is
actual
that the
name.
character that just got arrested?
No, she was
Or,
with John Stamos,
yeah. That.
like married
Yeah.
to
That.
her. I mean, married to him.
Yeah. That's Becky. Yeah. I think she's in jail right now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is she even on the show right now?
No,
Wow.
I don't think she is because see what I was saying is that whoever is the person who acts out Kimmy, she has she has a vlog on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't seen. I've seen pretty much everybody from the cast except for I haven't seen John or Lori on there.
Hmm.
But Danny, I guess just because they're not in every episode. Danny hasn't been there. A lot of them haven't been on. I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I don't know what it is, but
Hmm.
but back to what I was saying. Andrea is her name, I think.
Okay.
Kimmy, I think her real name is Andrea. I don't
Hmm.
know. But so she did a video back to the no pants thing. So they had to do a scene on a bicycle, and she forgot. I don't know what it was, but she made a video. It was titled "Going Commando"
Oh.
because she didn't. I don't know what it was, but she had no underpants on.
Yeah,
And had
forgot her underwear. or did it on purpose.
Yeah, that video was. I don't know what it was, but the video was so funny because they had the camera set up and they were videoing, and they're behind the scene. It's a behind the scenes shot, and whoever acts out is Stephanie. I think I don't know what her name is. I forgot all their names except for DJ. I know DJ's name. That's the only person I know except for Becky and.
Stephanie was DJ's little sister, right? So that would be.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I knew her name. It just flew off my head. Damn it! All right. Yeah.
Anyway, so it was so funny, and she's just like, she was trying to come up with some way to help whoever Kimmy in real life is.
Andrea Barber. Story of Dory says Andrea Barber.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. That's it. So
nice, Story of Dory. Thank you.
So Stephanie, whoever like I said, I can't remember her name, but she was just like, if anybody knows what to do whenever you're a commando, it's me. I was like, okay.
Oh, Jody.
Thanks for the information.
Jody Sweeten.
Yes, that's
Is that right?
Thank you. Yep, that's it.
I just pulled that out of my ass. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was not thinking about talking about that, but as soon as we started talking about that, I lost the entire cast. I was like, okay. Well, I know all the kids' names, I think.
Oh, you're talking about the Olsen twins?
No, because they're not even on the show.
Yeah, I know. They said, nope. We're making plenty of money doing kids shorts.
Yeah.
And selling clothes.
Yeah. But Kimmy's daughter, I know her name in real life. I know DJ's oldest son's name in real life. And as for, I don't know what her middle son in the show is in real life. I have no clue.
I don't know. I don't know that I've even seen any of the kids on there. In that short,
It's interesting. They're very interesting people.
Well, people liked it. Thought it was a good reboot. And I always thought that I would watch it, but just never found the time to.
Yeah. Tell my mom. The thing is, my mom's never watched it. But whenever I go to bed, I usually have something on. So I'm either listening to Magic Jones, one of your streams, or I have something on Netflix. That's pretty much my three choices. What I do.
I knew it's usually either. Huh? I knew I liked you.
So
I'm in good company there.
So I forgot what I was. Oh yeah. So yeah, I was able to watch the entire show through that, and that's how I'll probably end up watching season 5, because in the daytime, I can barely. I just can't watch Netflix in the daytime.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm sitting in bed. I may watch 5 minutes. I'm just like, I wonder what temperature it is outside. Oh,
Yeah.
it's hot. I'll go back inside.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder how this is right now. I wonder what this is right now. I wonder what this is right now. Ooh, I wonder what my friends are doing right now. I wonder if I can go out and go work on some bikes right now. Which, by the way, I have a story about that. I crashed a bike today.
Oh man, sorry to hear that. You okay?
Yeah, that hurt. Oh, I'm fine. It just, my rear was a little sore for a bit. But see, the thing is, my friend Dylan, who is my partner in crime whenever it comes to bikes,
Mm-hmm.
he likes to go and cut people off, but he's to the point where he doesn't crash. I don't know how he does that. He likes to get up right next to you and just try to scare you, and he's never crashed doing it. So I decided he always makes me mad whenever he does it, but I just decided not to let it show, because then he starts laughing. So I just kind of keep it to myself. So I decided I was going to give him some payback, except it didn't work. Because I went right up beside him, and his overalls got caught in my handlebars.
Oh man.
So that pulled me right up next to him, because he was going faster than I was. Because I was trying to speed up as I was going next to him. And so that pulled me towards him. And then, so I knew I was going down. So I jumped up off the pedals, and it's kind of like spread my legs out. That way the bike would hopefully go down and land in between my legs. That's what my goal was.
Mm-hmm.
That worked, not realizing though that on the road there was some gravel. So I hit the ground and slid. My foot slid underneath his bike, which stopped him. So I'm just sitting here I'm like trying to keep my balance and like not fall on my face and get smacked in the face with the handlebar. I was like, ouch. This hurts.
Oh man.
And I did see, it wasn't even that bad of a wreck, but see, I don't know if you know this, but like if you, and I never really knew till today, but see, if you have under $100 bike, or if you don't have like a $600 to $1,000 bike, then you got crap basically. I've learned that, because all of the bikes that we have, except for the old ones, they're crap because they're about $100. They're just cheap Walmart or Academy bikes.
Sure.
So that one, I bent the front rim during the crash, and it wasn't even that bad of a crash. It was just kind of a simple crash that kind of got escalated under drama as we were trying not to fall on our faces.
Mm-hmm.
So I somehow bent the front rim from getting the bike pulled and then it falling, and bent the rim.
Ouch.
So we flipped the bike over, and we had, oh gosh, how many people did we have? 1, 2, 3. We had 5 people. And Dylan's just like, some of these cheaper bikes, if you just pull on the rims, you can tighten them or you can straighten them if they're this bent. I was just like, okay. So I was on the pulling side. So Dylan stood on the seat. I was standing on the handlebars on one side. We had 3 people on the other side. They were all pushing. They were all standing on the handlebars. I was pulling. They were pushing. And we did that for a little bit. And then Dylan suddenly just says, we just bent the handlebars.
Nice.
So we flipped the bike over, and the handlebars are loose. The neck is totally bent out of whack. So Dylan's just like, come on, guys, this was a horrible idea. I was like, well, it was your idea. He's like, not really. And his brother's just like, yep, you're the one that told us that this is how you fix it. I was just like, Dylan, this would have been easier to just take the brakes apart, because it was rubbing so badly, and push the bike to the shed, take the rim off, and put a new one on. It would have been a whole lot easier than to break more stuff.
Another life's lesson.
Oh yeah, I never listen to your friend. No, I'm kidding.
Always take it with a grain of salt. Always.
Yeah, that was so funny. And then, so after that, him and his brother left, and I was like, well, I'm not moving anywhere right now because I'm still sore after you pulling me along, and I just kind of pretended to blame it on him. It's a joke. I was like, after you decided to make me crash, even though it was all my fault. So I was like, oh, let's stay down here for a little bit. And then whenever I was sitting in their backyard, in my other friend's backyard that was helping us, not Dylan's, but And I was just hanging out with them. I was like, well, I got to head back up there. I was just like, this is going to be interesting because I don't know what I did, but I was really sore. So I hopped on the bike, and every single time I was pedaling, I was like, ouch, 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 ouch. I was like, this doesn't feel good. And then I didn't realize they had rocks in their yard. And I hit one of those. So yeah, I was like, I'm done. I'm just pushing this. So yeah, that's my story for the day.
Well, it's funny that that story you were just talking about, where your handlebars got stuck on that guy's overalls. Did you hear the story that I had that was very much like that? Only it was on motorcycles.
No.
Oh yeah,
gosh.
yeah. I was,
Oh gosh.
and this of course isn't a neighbor story, but I was in a qualifier to go, for the state to go national, and I'm on a low end of a berm, and this guy comes around the top end but too close, and he kicked my handlebars out because he hit them coming on the high side. I didn't even know he was there, and we were both going down at that point because that's what happens. And I stuck my arm out instinctively, and it went right in his spokes, and it got sucked between that and the swing arm, and just tore the hell out of. I don't know if you can see that scar, but it ruined my throttle arm forever. And of course, they had to take the rear wheel off. Thank God it was a Honda. If had it been a Yamaha or a Suzuki or even a Kawasaki, the chain would have been on that side, and that would have been ugly. Yeah. So I've had very similar experience, my friend, and I know it ain't fun when.
Oh yeah. See, I don't even know how I didn't. I don't know. See,
You got
hit
lucky
the
that
ground,
didn't
I
happen to you.
Oh, well, yeah, because I was on the side of the chain.
Right,
but
right.
the thing is, though, is that if I were falling towards his bike, see, I was a little bit ahead of that, so I would have caught the front derailleur if I would have caught anything.
Yeah.
Or the front tire.
Yeah.
But I was on the side of the chain. But if I would have hit anything, I would have either hit him, hit his main frame, or whacked my head against his handlebars if I were heading that direction as I went down.
Yeah.
Which would not have been good.
No.
Metal to the head does not go together well.
No, not at all.
But I hit the ground, and I was going down on top of my bike, or not my bike, but the bike that I was borrowing from my friend.
Yeah.
I was going down on top of that, and I was like, oh crap. So I just I just pushed my arms forward like I was going to push a bunch of air and stop myself, and somehow it worked. Yeah. Anyway, so before I talk a little bit too much and then can't get what I was originally coming on for, I do want to say real quick. So in case, I don't know if I said this before, but Stand Up, Stand Out Choir. Just a quick update about that.
Sure.
So we're open. We have Instagram chats open, so people can start joining that. Only problem is nobody's joined.
Well, it takes time.
So
it takes time.
I just wanted to put that plug out there.
Sure. Shameless plugs.
No, I'm kidding.
Not a problem, dude. Not a problem.
Oh yeah, shameless plugs always work. I made one see my grandpa. He's in the hospital right now.
Oh.
So if you could pray for him, please.
Hope everything's okay.
Huh?
I said I hope everything works out on that.
Yeah, it's a long story. I'm not even going to go into it. That's a whole another show right there.
Yeah.
But so one of the nurses came in, and I was just talking to her, and I was talking to her about how I write songs and all that. She's like, "Well, I'd like to hear one." I was like, "Aha! Time for a shameless plug."
There you go, man.
Here's my YouTube channel.
Never miss an opportunity.
Go subscribe, and then she left, and I checked my phone. Boom, new subscriber. I was like, yes.
Sweet, very sweet.
So I don't know if it was her or if God was just trying to trick me or something, but I'll just take it as I'll take it as good.
Fantastic. So, well, thanks for sharing, dude. That was cool.
The shameless plugs always work.
Shameless plugs are always worthwhile, and I never have any problem when somebody comes on and wants to do a little shameless plug. That's what this is all about. So
make sure to subscribe and make sure. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
make sure
you
to
do.
leave Jim's channel and just come right over to me, guys, because you want to show me all the love.
That's okay. You know how much I don't care about that. I mean, I would love for people to go check the folks I have on. I don't have any problem with that at all. Hopefully they'll come back. They'll come on the show and they'll have people do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all a rich tapestry.
Yeah, the thing is, see, I don't understand this at all. I don't even know why it's my brain right here.
What's that?
But my brain goes so many different directions. But so the YouTube algorithm. Do you understand it at all?
I understand a great deal of it, but the one thing that you'll never be able to do is understand it all. And they do that on purpose, because once you do understand it all, once, like if someone were to put out a white paper on how exactly it would work, they would change it immediately. And the reason they do that is because people would abuse that information.
Yeah.
The same bad people that Jesse and I were talking about, they're
I didn't know. I don't know about that because I was watching Jason on my phone.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Sorry.
Well, there are bad people everywhere. There's no question about that. There's people that mean ill will toward other people. And you give them too much information and they will exploit that information to their own gain. And that's why you'll never know exactly how the Google algorithm works, or even the Yahoo or the Bing or any of those, because it just opens them up for abuse by those who would do wrong. But yeah, I understand a great deal of it because I've been a search engine marketer for 10, 15 years. I know a lot about it. But I'll never know everything about it.
I don't understand it at all. Because I don't understand, the thing is, because there's all these people who are just so confusing, because there's these bigger YouTubers who are trying to tell people how to improve their channels.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to explain the algorithm to the best of their ability. Whenever, honestly, I don't think YouTube CEO knows how the YouTube algorithm works, because it is complex.
Oh, I know the CEO doesn't know exactly how it works. No. Only those people in the trenches who are actually programming it. But then again, all the decisions come from upper management. And they'll say, okay, make it do this, make it do that. We need to decide how we actually promote videos and that sort of thing. And if you want a rule of thumb, think of it this way. The one thing that both Google and Yahoo want to do is they want to serve what they would consider and their audience would consider content that most people would enjoy. And if you pattern your search engine optimization tactics to that, and you produce content to that effect, then eventually it will happen, right? I mean, there's so many other factors that go into it, but if you look at it from a very high level perspective, they want to promote that which is popular. And if you can create content that has the potential to be popular, and you get enough faces in front of it. That's why we go to all these live streams, and we just become exposed. You talk on a live stream and you just give people advice and get to know people and that sort of thing, because then you're exposing yourself to people who may never ever know that you exist. And that's how you have to do it early on in the trenches. You've got to go out and find people. And then once enough people find your content, that's why everybody says, hey, click the like button. By the way, guys in the chat and watching this video, click the like button.
Hashtag shameless plug.
Hashtag shameless plug. Because that tells Google, if you get enough, or I should say Yahoo, YouTube, that gives them an indication of how popular that content is. And that will trip triggers in the algorithm. And of course, it's got to be enough, right? Because there are too many opportunities to game that system as well. I mean, I know people who have several YouTube accounts, and they'll use them to like their own videos in hopes of, upping their status.
I understand why you would do that, but I don't really know.
Well, it's too much work and not enough payoff, but people will do things like that.
I have 3 YouTube channels, technically 4, because I just started EMM too, as a backup in case I take YouTube off. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so on my channels, on my other 2 channels, which is Crazy Redneck Outdoors, which I don't do anything on it, and then I started a channel for kids, which is called Jesus Tunes. I don't use either of those channels anymore, but I don't like any videos from any of my channels on other accounts.
Right.
It's just like there's no reason to.
No.
So, but I do have them to where I have featured channels, but I renamed it as my other channels. So I'm kind of putting traffic between all 3 of them. I don't really care about bringing traffic to the other 2.
Sure.
Because they're just like Jesus Tunes. Is probably never going to see the light of day again.
Yeah.
because it's too much work. And I was like, I was move that over to EMM eventually.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but and Crazy Redneck Outdoors is just like whenever I have time to do that, I'll do something. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
But,
And that's actually a pretty good tactic to cross promote, between your channels. But I got to tell you, most people will use those same Accounts on the same IP address. They know. You're not fooling Google or YouTube in any way if you're liking your own videos, like from the same computer, worse off. But even from a different computer on the same network, you're not helping yourself.
No.
So don't do that, people.
There's no reason to, like,
No.
it's just, ugh.
Yeah, so
it's stupid.
Yeah, so just know, and then this goes out to everybody. Just know is that if you're really wanting great exposure, one, you've got to work at it when you're young, when you're early in your YouTube
I made
phase.
mistakes about that when I started. No,
Yeah,
I don't know if I
yeah.
should.
Well, there's
that's
one
not
of the, everyone gets sucked in by sub for sub because we love the numbers.
Yeah.
But most people learn right away that doesn't do you any good at all.
Yeah. Well, see, that's for sub. I didn't do sub for sub. But see, when I started YouTube about a year ago, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was, interested in subscribers. So I started going down the path leading to sub for sub, but I never did do sub for sub. So like you were saying, like you have to, you're saying like to market yourself in live streams, be in live streams, be on the,
not market necessarily.
Yeah.
Just
wrong word.
Yeah, you're exposing yourself to a whole bunch of people that aren't seeing you in the recommendeds, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry.
No,
but so I did that, except I did that in the wrong live streams.
Oh.
So I like watching outdoor content. That is not what my channel is. So I was going to all these outdoor channels and going in there and typing in chats, and I'd stay for entire live streams, and I would subscribe to these other cool, I was like, oh sweet, there's a new channel right there, I kind of like that stuff. And usually it would come back to me, but I didn't care that much, but that was mainly what I was doing, and I was just like, wait a minute, no, this doesn't work. Because I soon realized, I was just like, okay, I'm a music channel exposing myself in outdoor channels who are never going to watch my stuff. So that's whenever I was just like, okay, I got to figure out where I'm going to go now. How, because there's not a whole lot of channels that do what I do.
Yeah.
In fact, there's no channels that do exactly what I do, because I just do things different and weird. I've looked for hours, and there's been a couple of days where I've just looked for hours trying to find somebody who's done the closest person who does things like the closest who anybody's ever been. And it's not, I don't know. Magic Jones is probably the closest to my channel. I see and he just does like songwriting and all that, and I do different other random videos too. But Magic Jones is also a lot more professional than my stuff, because I have a bedroom and he has a studio. So I'm building a bedroom studio. He has a studio built. So
yeah.
He's probably like the closest out of all the channels on YouTube to what I do. But I just have a bunch of other random crap thrown in there too. So
well, you've already figured out probably the most important aspect of marketing yourself that way, or at least exposing to other people that way, and that is find those channels where you're likely to find people that would dig your content. The outdoors people, they didn't care much about the music ministries. I get that.
Yeah.
But that's a great tip for people, is like, once you've developed your niche, find those channels where your audience is most likely to hang out. And what I normally do is I go in there, I either just have fun or try to help people. Because there are a lot of channels out there where people are asking questions that need, they honestly need help. And I'll answer them as soon as because it's really tough for the host to do it a lot of times. Ask me how I know. Well, listen, buddy, we are 4 minutes past the hour. I'm getting ready.
We are.
Yep. I'm going to wrap. We've been talking for almost half an hour now.
Before we get off, this won't take long.
That's all.
King Jellybean wanted me to tell you that tomorrow is his first day of school, and that he won't be able to be back on the show. And Thursday next week is my first day of school, so I won't be able to be back on the show. I'm really sad.
Well, we will miss you guys. And you can always watch us, after, or when I'm not on.
Yeah. I'm hoping, I'm going to see if I ask my parents if I can, because I usually have to go to bed at 9.
Sure. Sure.
But usually I end up like coming to my bed. Last year I ended, never mind, long story. No need to go on that.
Okay. Okay.
I usually go to bed at 9. I don't fall asleep at 9 because I'm supposed to put my devices down at 9.
Yep.
I usually do that, but I'm usually doing something like twiddling my thumbs or something till 10 or 11 because I'm just like, I am not going to sleep right now.
Well, don't let me get you in trouble with your folks. They sound like good people.
No, I'm actually, I won't get on here if I'm not allowed to do it, but I'm going to ask if I can stay up till 9:30 because I used to be able to stay up in at elementary school in my last 2 years of elementary school, maybe 1 year, I don't know. I was allowed to stay up till 9:45, but then so now I have to go get up an hour earlier.
Oh yeah.
But I've done it for 2 years. I'm used to it. So I'm going to see if I can go to 9:30, and if I can't get on right at 9, if I can't get in the waiting room by 9:10, then I just won't do it, for that night because I can't, because I
sure
usually around that time I'm not going to be, if I don't get on before 9:10, I'm most likely be after 9:30. So, but yeah, I've already kind of thought about that because I was like, I do not want to have notifications in my notification box that I can't do anything about. It's like, so stupid. That's why I don't know if you noticed or not. And that's the last story I'll tell. I promise. But whenever I first found your channel, I subscribed. But then I was just like, I can't ever get on the shows because we have school and I can't ever be on. So I was just like, so I unsubscribed, and then I came back a couple weeks later and resubscribed, and I've been here since. So I don't know if see, there's a lot of people have done it. Like Magic Jones, I went to his channel. Oh, never mind. I will tell that story later.
Okay. All right. Well, you will be missed, but you always have, you kids have more breaks throughout the year now than we ever did.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll see you from time to time.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
So, well, it was a pleasure talking, man, and good luck with your with this year's school.
No, thank you.
Come back on your breaks, man.
Oh, I will. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of luck for me to be good for school this year, right? Math, especially.
Yeah, and don't unsubscribe. Just unclick the bell.
Oh, I'm not. I'll probably keep the bell on. That way I know what the shows are and see if I can stay up. I'll probably stay up if I can for the shows that I think I have stories for.
Sweet.
And the ones that I don't, I'll probably go to bed at 9. So that's probably what I'll ask if I can do. So
awesome. Well, thanks, Easton. I appreciate that, bud. And
thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. We'll talk to you soon, pal.
Have a great evening.
You too. What a great kid. Oh, yeah. For those of you who are thinking about unsubscribing for no notifications, don't worry about doing that. Although I want you to ring that bell because I want you to know what's going on, and I want to see you back here. I want to see you on the show. I want to talk to you. And listen, I did have a couple things I wanted to touch on in the chat. Who was that gave me that suggestion? Oh, I know who it was. It was Mr. Lodak asked me if I've ever done a show on reoccurring dreams. No, but that is now on my list. Fantastic idea. Somebody also said it was a nice cozy. I think it might have been also Mr. Lodak. That was made by my son. I've got 5 of them, just like it. I use them all the time. I should have him make some more because I'll be damned if Teespring has any cozies. And what else did I see in here? Anything else in that arena? Oh, there it is. Jesse says, are we supposed to wear pants on this show? No. You don't have to wear pants anywhere, but don't let me know about it. Visually. All right, folks, listen. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about your favorite TV shows. So make sure you join us Tuesday night 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're watching the show after it's processed, guys, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you can come back and be on this show. Share out these videos so we can get more people exposed. You know how that is. Exposure is everything. That's why we're all trying to get the algorithm to pick us up. It really helps the show out, helps your buddies out, helps those content creators that you enjoy. It does help. And I'm going to leave you with some help. Make sure you treat others the way you would want to be treated. If we all did that, we'd be living in a better world. Have a good evening, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, and we will definitely see you live.